Hello and welcome everyone to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be another series from the recent ZOTAC number 300. And yes, it does look like a different map compared to the usual map pool. That is the, I guess, uniqueness of ZOTAC 300. Plenty of different maps were added to the pool. Not sure if it's for this particular cup or maybe from now on. Maybe this might be a new ZOTAC season. I don't know. Assuming that there is seasons. Either way, in the bottom left we have Calypso and Calypso. I actually did not look up this player. Has been around for, or at least around ZOTAC for a very long time. Didn't really get to the best of eights that frequently, but he is one of those players that is that has been pretty much swept under the rug, mainly because of his, I guess, unknown name. Either way, yep, just hasn't really made a name for himself. So let's see how this will turn out. He will be spawning as the dark green orc player in the rightish side of the map. His opponent is going to be a little bit more common, Agatha from the U2 clan. Agatha is a Korean human player. I believe he did participate in the Korean WEL. Not sure how he went though, but he did have an awesome game against Lordo and Yange. So yeah, he's going to be spawning as the red human player on the right. Map is on Lost Temple. It is a very classic, I guess, map name for Blizzard. Initially there was Lost Temple for StarCraft. Not sure if it was Brood War or just the original. And then there was Warcraft 3 over here, Lost Temple. And then a StarCraft 2 had Lost Temple, but that eventually that eventually got removed from the official ladder map pool. Okay, I'm just gonna introduce the creep camps around, or at least show you it around. We do have a ogre warrior camp guarded with a bunch of trolls. It is indeed an orange creep camp, and it is a very quick expansion if you actually go and take it. Archmage for Agatha, Blade Master for Calypso. His Blade Master is going to take tons of damage, so needs to be careful right there. He can use a healing salve, which is one of the benefits for being an orc player. Goblin Merchant guarded by a rock golem and once again trolls. It does lead to another orange creep camp. I believe this is orange. Yeah, it is orange. This is usually your second expansion. Now, in the player spawning camps, it's pretty much the identical creep camp, a rock golem and 3 troll berserkers. Now we do have this goblin laboratory. It is indeed a red creep camp guarded by an ogre lord with that devotion ore and magi warriors and trappers. So yeah, obviously human players could pretty much rush that early on with tons of militia. Now the middle is where most of the creep camps are actually at. You can see in the front of the 4 entrances is a pack of gnolls, and nothing really too difficult right there. Ogre Molars with a pair of gnolls, and in the middle is a Fountain of Health, guarded by 2 overseers, 2 assassins, 2 wardens, and 2 poachers. And over on the other corners are just trolls. Okay, that's pretty much the map for Lost Temple. Actually, no, it is not. The top left and bottom right corners are guarded by 2 drakes and a granite golem. But note that this is indeed an island expansion, so the goblin laboratory needs to be cleared out in order for anyone to expand out there. And of course they need to take down that very difficult creep camp. Meanwhile, Calypso is going to be moving out with a couple of grunts and that Blade Master. Blade Master is indeed at level 2. He does have a Gloves of Haste, Circlet, and a Boots of Speed. Archmage at level 2, but he only has a Circlet available for his inventory. But he is able to establish himself an expansion. Okay, there we go. Agatha is most likely, yes, indeed, going to focus fire that Blade Master with the Arcane Tower, but wow, Calypso doing tons of damage to that Archmage, forcing a TP scroll, and actually I'm not sure how that peasant actually got caught in that TP scroll. Usually peasants that are working or gathering resources don't get affected by TP scrolls, but apparently that one was. I think he was constructing a tower. Meanwhile, going back to Calypso's main base, he is getting a Shadow Hunter, and he is indeed at level tier 2. Bestiary is going to be placed down, and we might be seeing, oh, actually double Bestiaries. Interesting play right here. Pillage is also being researched, so that might indicate raiders. Obviously, Calypso would like to destroy that expansion early on, before, you know, most of the gold is gathered up and utilized. Now the Archmage is a little stuck in his base. Agatha did cancel that farm, so he will be able to sneak by. But so will that Blade Master if he could get a Windwalk in. But of course that would be a little risky, as he would be essentially blocking himself off. I assume he sold his TP scroll as well. Yes, he did. Now we do have 2 guard towers on the way, but Calypso is doing a good job preventing those peasants from gathering gold for the time being. Blade Master might even get a couple of peasant kills right there. That's 1, possibly 2 on the way, and maybe 3. There we go with the 2nd, and there we go with the 3rd. Nicely done right there. Halfway to level 3. Somehow Agatha lost a 3rd grunt. But it's no biggie. We are indeed going to mass raiders, most likely for their siege damage. Now the Shadow Hunter is going to be waiting next to this troll camp, and we're most likely going to just start creeping out this camp. Will we? No, Shadow Hunter is actually just going to transfer some consumables, and it looks like he's going back to harassment. Or not. I'm not sure what he is trying to do. Archmage gonna purchase a boost of speed as well as TB scroll. I'm also gonna see that TB scroll in use. Or not. Actually, I have no idea. It's so hard to spot these dark green units. And there we go with TP. Agatha is gonna clear out this green creep camp. Honestly, I would have expected Calypso to do the same. He could have easily creeped out these green creep camps by the time he was just walking around and all that, but unfortunately he was not able to capitalize on the free amount of time he had. And there we go with an ensnare. A 2nd ensnare right over there. Hex is going to be coming in on that Archmage with the TB scroll, will be able to be used at 13 health. Now that was a little bit of an early Hex. Unfortunately the Blade Master was not able to get a critical strike off, so yeah, maybe just like a fraction off on that Hex. So yeah, that's unfortunate. And of course Calypso is going to reveal his army composition to his opponent, and maybe he will construct something to counter that. Mountain King is going to be the 2nd hero of choice for Agatha, and he is placing down double sanctums. So to be honest, it's gonna be a little, I'm actually lost for words. I don't know how exactly to counter mass raiders, except just massing up your own one type of units. I mean, Spellbreakers seem reasonable, somewhat. So yeah, we might see Spellbreakers coming in. Who knows, really? We're going to see Sorceresses and maybe some Priests to add some into the mix. I don't know. Meanwhile, Agatha might be looking for a 2nd expansion. He is going to clear out this creep camp. Not sure if Calypso is going to suspect it, but of course against a human player you must always suspect these type of plays, and the Blade Master did indeed spot it. Probably going to get the Jack on the Berserker. There we go. Close attack +6. A very nice item picked up and stolen from Agatha's nose, or at least under Agatha's nose. However, he is going to place down that expansion. And what's interesting is that he is at 50-50, or 50-54. Calypso is also at 50, but I don't know. His units are a little bit more expensive on the food cost. Wyverns are going to be added to the mix, and yeah, man. Uh, Obviously, the expansion has been forced to be cancelled, as the Archmage will be using that TP scroll. I don't think the Mountain King was present in that fight. And yeah, Wyverns. I have Wyverns added to the mix for those raiders. Obviously, this, or at least, very funnily, this Wyvern is killing himself. I don't think that. I don't think the Wyvern should continue attacking. Actually, let's just keep on watching this. Yeah, that's generally what would happen. Wyvern's not really that high on hit points, and yeah, actually, I was really hoping that would happen because that is actually very funny. A cheap 210 gold? No, it's not. Oh wow, how much gold is a footman? 160, 130? Man. But still, compared to a wyvern, that is a major trade. Or at least minor. Doesn't matter. Mountain King, Boots of Speed. We do see those sorceresses and priests applying that slow. I guess the slow could be turned off in autocast. You generally shouldn't use slow against a green creep camp, but I guess if he wants less damage dealt, we do have a TP scroll coming in from the Shadow Hunter, so we will be defending this expansion from Calypso. These three footmen do not look like they will be able to live for quite some or at least for the next few minutes, as they are all simultaneously ensnared. We do see Agatha clearing out creep camps once again. He might actually go for this red creep camp very soon, or at least he should. We do see Spellbreakers being added to the mix. We are producing out of 3 Arcane Sanctums. Yes, 3. Agatha is actually stockpiling it with his expansions. Or at least he should. He only has 2 mining bases right now. Scourge Bone Chimes are going to be the items being picked up from this orange creep camp. Not exactly the best item to be picking up in this type of, I guess, in this type of time period of the game. It is transitioning from early to mid, and I guess it's near late game. I mean, it's starting to go over upkeep, so I'm assuming it's already either between mid or late game. So yeah, Scourge Bone Chimes probably going to be sold for 200 gold. Archmage, I think he's out of the experience gain, so the Mountain King is going to get the full experience gain from this creep camp, and you know, it's a very nice move from Agatha. Generally, the Mountain King is going to be a very big powerhouse for the future fights. However, those wyverns are going to be a little bit of trouble. So let's see how this will happen. A Stormbolt and a Bash on that Raider. One of it will be taken down. Nope. We are going to see a Healing Wave coming in from the Shadow Hunter and a Stormbolt on that Wind Rider. However, the Mountain King is going to be the first target being focused by the Orc player. But there we go with invisibility, but that is not going to help anything, as the Mountain King has yet to kill anyone, and he has been killed himself. Raiders, no raiders have been killed just quite yet, or at least I don't think so. One source is going to be taken down, another one's going to be taken down. Calypso just breezing through Agatha's army, although the Spellbreakers might be a little difficult to handle, as they are a little beefier than the priests and sorceresses. One raider finally gets taken down. We do have a Cyclone on this elemental. I'm pretty sure it's this Wand of the Wind. Mountain King, is he being revived through the tavern? I don't think so. I believe he's being revived through the altar. Slow is obviously affecting these Wind Riders. Their attack speeds from normal to slow, and that is definitely not helping. However, they do deal a lot of damage in one shot, so I guess that's nice, but it's probably even better if they can attack their normal rate. And yes, the Mountain King is nearly revived. We do have that second expansion being placed down, but it is not currently mining anything. We do have a grunt standing over here as a scout, and these injured orc units are actually utilizing the Fountain of Health um, being in the middle. Okay. So right now I don't generally think Agatha's army composition could do it. I think he should be going for a castle-oriented Griffin Aviary type play, I guess. Or he could just try to go, I don't know, I guess Griffins and Dragonhood Riders would be nice. Dominance in the air front. I mean, Dragonhood Riders to counter the Wyverns and Griffins to counter the Raiders. Obviously the Raiders can ensnare those Griffins or Dragonhood Riders, but if you can get enough, you know, then you don't need to worry. The problem is getting that enough Griffin Riders, so it's gonna be hard. Agatha's still gonna stick to keep tick though, so that is a little worrying. However, he's gonna go for another expansion over here in the corner. Obviously very difficult to actually assault, but also it's kind of hard to defend if you're Agatha. Obviously there's only one entrance way over here, but it's just so far away from where your army is usually gonna be. Yeah, you just gotta make the right choice. And right now Calypso is moving out everything. 8 wyverns and a bunch of raiders. We finally have a Spirit Walker in the mix as well. We'll probably see that Spirit Link coming in. We do see Hex being utilized. Archmage is gonna be taking down level 4. That is greatly going to affect this fight. The Mountain King also being hexed as well. The invulnerability potion is going to be used, but the Mountain King is just delaying his inevitable death. Obviously wyverns are probably the most effective units against these casters right now, especially for the orc arsenal. Just 36 to 44 piercing damage, and piercing damage does I believe 200% more, or it's 150, I don't know, I forget to check the numbers, but it doesn't really matter, it's just bonus damage. And of course, yep, this does not look good. Even a Kodo Beast is going to be added, so that is plus 10%, yes it is, plus 10% additional attack damage all around. Unfortunately we're not at Fortress Deck, but that doesn't really matter. Another slow is going to be coming in on those sorceresses, but it can easily be disenchanted by those Spirit Walkers. Archmage nearly revived, but I don't think how much he will affect this game, even if he does come back, so actually I'm very curious to see what happens. Mountain King is being healed up back at the back, and Agatha's Altar of Kings might be in danger of being destroyed. Archmage not even see the light of day. No, he will not. And wow, Calypso is actually doing fairly well against Agatha. One spell is going to be taken down. Of course, a Spellbreaker has been devoured by the Kodo Beast, slowly dealing damage to the unit, but you know, the problem about versing a Kodo Beast player is that your supply doesn't go down when your guy gets devoured. The upside is you can see the Kodo Beast, like over here. Yeah, sort of. You can see the vision range around that Kodo Beast, but that's pretty much the only upside. We see a TP scroll coming in at the corner expansion. No, it's not even completed. It's over at this expansion over here. So Agatha looking to actually transfer his main base to the topish region of the map. And we do see Tid actually being kicked from the observer's point of view, so that's actually very weird. Oh, animal critters. Wow. We are going to see those animal critters, not animal critters, mechanical critters being utilized from Agatha. Generally people don't tend to use those things, as it's kind of obvious, you know, which is player controlled and which is just normal, but you know, pretty much standard methods go. People just kill critters either way, undead or not. So yeah, Agatha's second base is going to be destroyed. This, how much gold has to... Oh, actually, 12,000 gold has indeed been mined, but is that going to be enough against Calypso's 80 food army? Now he is indeed going to fortress tick, and he is looking to actually go for a full 100 food army. Now the way or at least I hope so. Of course he did, that extra 10 food was from that third great hole, so we might even, let's try again. We might not even go for a full 100, but you know, go for the sure win. Archmage is finally going to be revived, and Agatha is really turtling it up in here. Lots of god towers, even a farm wall over here. Agatha does not want to lose this main or this expansion. These raiders slowly cleaning this main base up. Obviously, Calypso is going to be receiving a ton of resources from that damage. And here we go with these wyverns. How many wyverns? About 7 or 8 wyverns currently in this army mix, and we do have the Spirit Link as well, so it's going to help spread around the damage. And of course, Healing Wave will be extremely beneficial. A ton of peasants right here. If only they could cast Call to Arms, but I'm not sure why they're not. This is slowly becoming a keep, so if this becomes a keep, this Call to Arms will definitely be an available option.
A player's forces are under attack.
So far Agatha is 49, meanwhile Calypso is still at 80, and it does look like he is looking to go for a 100 food army. The only problem is that he is quite low on lumber, but he does have 3.5k gold in his resource pile. We do see the Spirit Links being stolen by those Spellbreakers, pretty much the only spell they can cast against an Orc army, unless, you know, they had a caster like a Farseer. Actually, I'm very interested if Spellbreakers can steal wards, sentry wards at that. We do see a Stormbolt on that Wyvern, not enough to kill him though. These Wyverns are indeed 1-1, so I believe the Kodo Beast would also be 1-1 as well. TV Scroll coming in, but one priest was taken down in the process. Now this elemental is going to try to do something fancy, or at least go for one of these peons, but these wyverns are going to quickly take it down. BM halfway to level 6. He does have +6 agility from that Boots of Wealth loss, and he does have an Ankh reincarnation, so he's going to be an extremely difficult hero to actually overcome, especially if you kill him once. He will be able to come back a second time. Nope, never mind. The Ankh is going to be given to that Shadowhunter, and what's interesting to me is that he is closer to the Blade Master, or closer to level 6 than the Blade Master. So, Big Bad Voodoo, anyone? I don't know. So basically, Big Bad Voodoo is a AoE ability. It affects your units. It practically renders them invulnerable, and the only unit vulnerable is the Shadowhunter. So, yep. And I don't think you can use an invulnerability potion alongside that ability. I believe the potion gets immediately dispelled, so that's something to worry about. We do have a blacksmith and castle on the way, so we might place down either a ton of Griffin Aviaries or a ton of barracks. And we do have a ton of Griffin Aviaries. 3 Griffin Aviaries in the corner of the map. However, these demolishers are making quick work of this base, the castle. Hell, the castle might even be destroyed before it even becomes a castle. Agatha needs to deal with this now, otherwise he is going to be facing a very, very horrible fight in the later future. He is placing down that second elemental. He is going to be engaging, and we will see that new elemental just taken down immediately. We do not have a call to arms. That was probably Agatha's biggest mistake for this upcoming fight. Archmage, oh, there we go, the big bad voodoo. All these units are indeed invulnerable, including the mechanical units right here, except for that Shadowhunter. GG from Agatha, and that is going to be game. Wow, 25 minutes. That is extremely long. You know, I don't want to do this, but I am unfortunately going to be casting game 2 tomorrow, so yeah, it's getting late, so I believe next game is like a 20-minute one as well, so I don't think I have enough time. Yeah, a lot of stumbling. Wow, a lot of stumbling. That's because I don't have a drink. Oh well. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.